Okay, so this is module 1, and we're talking about developing product from PLR. And I do use the singular in this case, and that's not a mistake, mainly because what I'm talking about is kind of a way of doing business. So whether or not you develop one signature product or whether or not you develop several products, then this is really going to be a business model that I want to lay out to you, that if you want to start with PLR that you have, or you want to just use PLR as I suggest you use it as raw material, then this is kind of the way I think you should go about building a business. And what I want to say to you is that right now, if you don't have a niche that you're in, then I always recommend that you start with the make money online niche, even though, or what I call the information marketing niche, even though it's the most competitive, because you'll learn the most, right? You'll learn the fastest, and then when you discover whatever your niche is supposed to be, you can take all the lessons that you learned in the information marketing niche and apply them, and what you'll find is that most people don't really fully know them, and then they will not even recognize things like one-time offers and other things like that, and then you will then be in a good position. So just about everything that you need to learn in terms of how to put these things together, you're going to learn in the information marketing niche. So again, if you don't have one, like if you don't have if you're not, let's say you're not in personal development, you're not in weight loss, you're not in a particular branch of information marketing, you're still trying to figure out exactly where you want to be, then I'm going to say get started in information marketing. That's my suggestion, because again, you're going to learn the most, the fastest, and you will have to apply these lessons probably about as fast as you learn them. And typically, the feedback that you get from the information marketing niche is, even though it's brutal, and even though it is, I think, sometimes a little, I'd say a little harsh, it's the best, right? It's the best medicine for learning. Okay, so let's talk about the business model, basically, because again, what we're talking about in these, well, how do I take PLR and how do I turn it into some kind of continual business model? I want to lay this out for you tonight, and I want to talk about the product Snowball, right? So either you heard me talk about it or you've heard the concept before. Because if you haven't started out yet, and even if, I'd say that even if you have some momentum, product Snowball is really going to always be the best way to gain momentum and to get affiliates kind of looking at you, right? And so let's talk about it. What you want to do with a product Snowball is you're not trying to hit a home run with your product creation. Whether or not you're taking a PLR right out of the box or you're trying to use it in some way, you're not trying to do $1 million Jeff Walker 7-figure launch. I'm not opposed to that. But what I'm saying is that before you have affiliates and partners and you have, let's say, a number of products, you want to start the process, I think, by creating short products that solve a specific problem that marketers are having, right? Again, start with short products that solve a specific problem that marketers are having. Now, if you're not in the make money online niche or information marketing niche, then you solve the problems in your niche. Right? So if you're in the personal development niche, if you're in the, let's say, the procrastination, right, that's your thing, then what's the number one problem that people who procrastinate that they're having right now? Right? What's their number one problem? Is it that they spend too much time on social media? Is it they're overwhelmed by technology? Whatever it is, create a short product and just start creating short products to address each problem. And again, if you don't have momentum yet, I'm not opposed to you launching on JVZoo. It's just that you do have to have an affiliate network. You do have to have a group of people who are willing to look at what you're doing on a regular basis and to promote you. If you don't have that, you can pick that up. You can gain that on Warrior Plus. You can develop that kind of network. And you don't have to move off Warrior Plus, to be quite honest. I know that that the JVZoo seems to be the, I guess, the network that's kind of sexier, so to speak. But Warrior Plus is a good enough network for you to use. And so if you're starting out or you don't have the momentum or you don't have the affiliate network yet, then I would say start launching these little products repeatedly on Warrior Plus. And again, I want to tell you that the point is not for you to make 1 million sales. I'd say, 5 sales, 10 sales are fine when you're launching these little short products that I'm talking about. Now, here's how you're going to use the PLR. So in other words, you want to take PLR and you want to beef up what you're trying to do. So in other words, you don't want to spend your time explaining to me the basics of, and again, I always use Facebook as an example. Don't spend your time explaining the basics of Facebook, how to create a fan page, how to open your account, all that stuff. Go buy the PLR of somebody who's already done that work, right? Go buy the PLR, and that's going to be your basic. And again, I don't really even care if you necessarily refabricate it to be yours. I don't even think it matters. I think what matters is you solve people's problems. Right, and so this is how you go and get the PLR. Now, in other words, I want you to pick up the subtlety of what I'm saying here. You're going to the marketplace in your niche, and you're figuring out what are the problems people are having. And you don't have to hit a home run. You got to have enough, I'd say, punches. You got to have enough jabs so that you can throw a right hand. Right, and so you got to keep jabbing with your left. If you're, that is, if you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, you want to jab with your right hand. But you got to throw enough jabs so that your right hand is going to be potent when it comes. And so you just keep solving little problems, and you use the PLR to beef it up. Now let's see. I've got a question here from Damon. You said if you have PLR, you don't have to learn the product. You can teach them. Yeah, in some cases, I would say, Damon, that what you want to do is you want to learn enough to solve a specific problem. So you may not be an expert on creating fan pages. So you might want to go and get PLR that shows people how to create fan pages. And if that's not the specific problem that you're going to solve, then you get PLR and you use that to beef up your product. And you say inside of there, hey, I've got something in here. Make sure you go to the members area and get the product that talks about this. Right? You do need to know what's in it. You do need to know kind of what they're explaining in it, but you don't have to be the one to create all the videos. Now, if you want to, for the sake of continuity, I think that it would be good if you put bumpers on all those videos. So in other words, you have, let's say, yourself on the beginning of the video and the end of the video saying, hey, this is Charles, you're about to see a video that's going to show you how to create fan pages. Now, here's what's going to happen, and then you kind of go into a little explanation. At the end, come in at the end on your end of the bumper, and you tell people, okay, you've just seen how to create a fan page. This is how this fits into my. I'm going to suggest that you deliver these products the very same way I'm doing it right now, because you need to move quickly, and you need to solve problems, right? And so I don't know of a faster way of being able to do that than creating the product live by webinar. And so people can always come and watch the replay, but the point is not whether or not, they've got a recording or whether or not they've got a video. The point is whether or not you solve the problem. Now, if you're not the webinar type and you don't necessarily like to present, then I think everybody can kind of come up just enough to be able to present some basic information. To be quite honest, I think that if you're solving a problem that people really are going to have, then you can almost overcome your inability to speak. That is my opinion. Right? So if you don't like talking in public, you can overcome that if you're solving a specific problem that you sold the product in order to solve. Okay, so you get done with the webinar. You're going to take that webinar, you're going to edit out the content. So in this particular case, at the beginning, before the recording started, I was fiddling around trying to get the screen to work. None of that stuff should be in your product recording. Right? You should be able to edit out all that stuff. And in some cases, you can do that just by starting the recording at the point at which you're ready to start talking, ending it when you're ready to be done. GoToWebinar is a great platform in order to do that. I think it's $99 for 100 people. And if you're going to have more than 100 people in your course, you're generally getting somebody to come on I'd say a Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, more than 100 people. It can be a little difficult. So I would not really worry about whether or not your room is going to be big enough. And if you have to go over that, then you go over that. But I think it's $99 for 100 members. It doesn't really matter which platform you use, just as long as you can reliably come in every week or every period of time and then continue to deliver the content, continue to solve the problem.